Hello and welcome to another video where I update you about my current streaming stuff, what's going on, and other things like that. This is due, not only because it was it was a long time since last time I did this, but it is also because something just came up that is going to be rather important considering future development of the stream. So I'll get that topic sorted out first and foremost. So the whole that thing's about is that I just got notice from my building that they're going to do a total renovation with the entire bathrooms. So basically making all of it new. They mentioned in their FAQ or their building the reference from the meeting that no matter the current state of your bathroom, it will be remade. So you can even choose, apparently, in the future, well, in the short future, what kind of style you want and stuff like that. It's going to be a showroom to choose. So it's going to be a big overhaul. Not only that, they're going to take and change away all of the radiators and basically most of the pipes. So yeah, the building's got to go under a complete, not a complete, but a giant renovation and overhaul, which means that there will be a massive amounts of construction. So that means during that time, my typical hours to stream is in the morning time, which basically means that I stream in the morning time, which is work time in Norway. So I know that my streams will definitely be a hit because I stream the weekdays, Monday to Friday, which is the work days and the work time. So yeah, you can definitely say that that's going to be a monkey wrench into my systems. But fear not, as of now, this will not be happening until at least a year. Well, maybe a little earlier than a year. If all things go as planned, as they wanted to go planned, they're going to start late summer next year, which means late summer 2023. I have no real idea how long this is going to take. But they did mention during the well, in the post that it's going to be if people decide to, for example, rent out, and that they also want to start it in a reasonable time because they'll be changing out the heating system. Make sure that it's not during the cold months, and considering that they're going to start late at summer or later, that's going to take some amount of time. So I'm guessing anything from my initial guess is 2 to 3 months. It might be a longer project, might be less. The initial work is going to be short, and then it's going to be like a long inside construction after the radiation and system is going on. I currently have no idea. I'm going to have to inquire further and will of course update you further when I know more. But they also mentioned that if you decide to rent elsewhere during the construction, they will not provide any funds to do so. So they will not support in that way. If let's say it's impossible for me to do this, I would basically have to pay double. Or not double, but you know, I would have to pay for my own rent elsewhere. So that kind of sucks. So those are bad news. But I want to make sure that this does not mean that I am defeated in any sort of way. It's gonna suck, but it's gonna be in the year, so we have lots of time to just do what we do. But it does mean that I will have to plan things for the future. A little bit more so than I used to. Because a lot of you that have watched me for a long time now know that I have been going full-time on Twitch for the latest year plus. I'm doing this without necessarily having the funds to actually pay my monthly bills, but it's a work in progress and things are looking to grow. So I know that time is what we need, and time and extra work might actually be enough for things to eventually turn up positive. This will definitely change. If this is worst case scenario, I couldn't stream during that usual time. I would have to end up changing my stream time, which I might do. I might change to streaming on weekends, maybe more nighttime, so maybe more US prime time. But another thing that really has already been working on my... well, I've been edging, that's a good word. Irking? Having an inkling. I've been wanting to do like more proper content as well. Like proper content is not the right word to use, but an actual YouTube video. Actual proper editing, some cool concept that might help me grow my YouTube side a little bit more, because Twitch is doing a-okay. YouTube is slapping behind. Like having 7 dead dwarves behind you with a very unfortunate gooey rope. So I want to... This would make me a little bit more focused on doing that, because I've been having this idea, like maybe I should start planning it soon, but you know, since the stream is healthy, why should I take away the energy for a stream that's doing pretty well? I'm happy about it, so why, when things are going good, why look for problems, right? But yeah, I'm not sure if I can only rely on that in the future. If this is going to be throwing a monkey wrench into the whole idea, it's problematic for current situations. I'm hoping I can stream as much as I do still, but potentially when that time arrives, I might have to change it up. Anyway, so that's like what's going to happen eventually. I'm not exactly sure when. It might even happen late or spring 2024. It all depends on how fast I'll get the plans in there. So I don't completely know the duration, when, or anything. I just know that currently we are in the absolute worst position for stream time. So I would even consider possibly having a different location to stream in if it comes to that. It might be worth it. Maybe we'll try to fund a little bit for me to rent a small little studio or an office space. We'll see. We'll see. During the time. Anything is... that's the thing about... I would mention that like, I'm totally not defeated. I am always looking for making a tough situation into a W, which means like I want to put this into a win. So let's say we have this issue, okay, so we have a new challenge and we need to overcome this challenge. And so that's just so you know that this does not change how much I care about my stream or me as a content creator. I wish only to keep this one growing because I've never been so passionate, so happy about something that I do in my life that I am having right now. So I will go down with fire, and I will make sure that I, if I have to go down, which is what I'm saying, that I will definitely give it my all. So I don't want that to happen. So yeah, that is currently the biggest topic that I wanted to mention to you. I'm very curious how it's all going to unfold. Wanted to mention this as early as possible to make sure that you guys know about it. I'll also probably mentioned here and there so the information gets out. But as I said, for now we are good and normal. No need to worry about anything specific changing. So, other topic. There is talk. I recently saw something about on social media. I'm not going to necessarily go into that because I don't really appreciate the topic that much. But basically, it was about lurkers and underappreciating streamers and basically having an interactive streamer or whatever. So I just wanted to touch on a little bit on the interactivity on my stream and my vibe. And how I recently changed things. As somebody has noticed, I've cut down on a lot of sound effect stuff and viewer interaction. So I had an idea of what my favorite stream vibe is, and I feel that if I would want to keep going my stream, or if it's going as it is, having this open ability for viewers to interact and change the vibe of the stream on their own is it's fun, but it's also very the word I'm looking for here is not insecure, but it's more let's just say the easy word, random. It's more random, so it's hard to yeah, I'm losing the word that I want to use there, but basically when I am now more in control of how the stream vibe is, I think it's better, because here's the thing, my stream and my content is very lurker heavy. So I want to make sure that the people that just enjoy the natural, the usual vibes of me doing whatever is taken the most care of. And not only is it something that I know, like the voice of the lurkers they usually don't use their voice because they just want to be in the background. They might prefer one thing or another, but they also prefer not making their claim that much either. Which, me as a previous lurker, this is kind of what I have experienced for myself, having been fans of many other big creators and never actually mentioning once what my opinions are. So I'm going on the understanding what my strengths are and what I personally enjoy the most. I'm just trying to double down on that, knowing that this is also a safe way to grow the content in the future. To make it like, let's say the typical viewer count would double, the stream would still have the same-ish vibe, which is something that I strive for, and definitely something that I would want to happen. Not saying that I don't like... So... how big the stream is, I'm not saying I'm uncomfortable with having a small streamer is that important to me or not, but how I would monetize my stream, at least how I would currently want to do it, which is mostly by regular subs and eventually YouTube when I get monetized on YouTube, is through during the typical ad money and sub money and people just donating here and there. I don't necessarily want to have a typical heavy interaction based stream where people tend to want to put money towards just on the stream so they can change the content. There are lots of community focused streams out there that do that, and I don't mind having them once in a while, but I think that doing the streams that I usually do, where we just play one long, boring RPG game with me just talking, telling stories in the background, it's going to create a lurker vibe. It's going to create a vibe where people just sit and listen and don't necessarily interact. And that is totally fine, but that also means that usually my type of stream vibe also maybe needs a little bit more size for it to also be like having a decent, nice, like monetizable. I always forget the word. To be like monetized well enough. Let's say that. So yeah, so that's the reason why the sounds are mostly gone away, and stream will continue to be calm and silly, of course, as I always have been, I feel, and I think. Hope you guys still enjoy that type of content. And also on top of that, I wanted to just mention, there was never really an opportunity for me to mention this on stream, but I still wanted to get it out there at one point, because this meant a lot to me. Because this also further kind of confirms a little bit on the topic of the lurkers and stuff, what people appreciate. So I got reached out to by someone that was a family member of somebody that I have watched the stream for a long while, for at least some of the first months that I actually started streaming. About a year ago, since I actually recorded this video, almost exactly a year ago. So they reached out to me and said that this username, I'm not going to mention who they were, they recently had passed away due to cancer. and they just wanted to mention to me that they really they came to know me, their family, that is, because the user in question used to watch me all of the time during the hospital visits and not having enough strength to do anything else or much else. So they wanted to reach out to me to tell me that like I was appreciated, and they spent a lot of time watching this and enjoying the content. And those are like, that was just a regular lurker that I didn't know anymore than that. I knew them, and I didn't necessarily know what was going on. So yeah, I mean, it tears me up talking about it, but it really hit me hard. And of course I really appreciate the family reaching out to me as well, thanking me for the content. I was able to just give them something every day, mostly every day, to just have something to zone into, retro, something that they were used to seeing when they were younger. So that's also why I wanted to support, you know, the lurkers out there and appreciate that. And at least if you're watching on YouTube, usually this is the crowd that I hear the least from. So I just wanted to say that you're all valued so much, and you don't need to feel the pressure to support me in any way. That is up for me to be able to create. I don't want you to feel any sort of pressure to help finance me, even though it is for me important to be smart, play smart, and go forward like that. As any viewer on Twitch or YouTube, you do what you're comfortable with. And if I have to make drastic changes in one way or the other, that is up to me, not to you. Just want to make sure that is... I hate to put pressure or guilt on anything like that. I'm giving this story. Maybe you're in the similar position yourself, which is if you have enjoyed something for a while, you're starting to realize that, well, I haven't really given anything back. And you might feel bad about that, but I'm telling you to not feel bad about that. So enjoy all you like. If you do, I'm just thankful for that. So yeah, that's the biggest topics to discuss that I put down. Of course, a little tough message at the end there, but I think people would appreciate. Didn't really mention it to anybody, so it also felt like something that I kept to myself. But I didn't want to mention it on stream. Like, there was never a good time to like, oh, by the way, this is probably triggering, but very nice. Like in a sad way, it's like create a community of and remembering the people involved. But yeah, you know, you don't want to bring down a vibe, or maybe somebody's already having a bad day and so like, oh yeah, thanks, now I need to be sad about this as well. Thank you so much. So yeah, in summary of the topics just talked about, the whole building renovations thing, TLDR version of it, going to be something that I need to plan ahead for. But you as a viewer don't need to worry about any big changes happening soon. Earliest changes will be at summer 2023, late summer. Possibly later than that. And yeah, so, and also I'll just say, as the lurker appreciation, stay lovely, and you're all worth something out there. I don't think you're not. Don't think you're not. Because if you don't think you're worth anything to somebody else out there, you're definitely worth to live for your own sake. So struggle to appreciate yourself is always a good thing. So that any lighthearted topics? No. I didn't really prepare any lighthearted topics. But let's have a casual chat without any feedback. At this point of the video, you have now gotten the information that I wanted to deliver to you. And now we call this Funny Hour. So let's talk about the typical things coming up on stream soon. Or we have streamed, I guess, in terms of what I've enjoyed. Yes, one thing that I can address, actually. You might, for those who haven't heard, I'm taking a break from Heroes content, Heroes of Might and Magic content. It's been a staple for my stream the last 4 or 5 months to have some sort of Heroes content. I took a break during the silly September thing that we did, where we basically had sub incentives for games to play. We did that the entire month, except for one day, or most of the month. We had 1-2 days a week early on that was normal, and then the last part of the month was just complete silliness. But yeah, I'm taking a little break from that. I was worried that people might not really enjoy that, because a lot of my content, or the people that tended to watch my show in YouTube and Twitch seem to enjoy that, but it actually has been fairly okay, and I've been enjoying delving a little bit harder into classical RPGs again. But I definitely do enjoy the franchise still of Heroes, so we will return to it at one point, but maybe more not as a very staple content, but we'll see. Here and there we might get in touch with it again and stay a while and listen, as they would say, as Deckard would say. So if you're curious about that, just a little break. Not going to necessarily stop. The Conquest timer is still there. The Conquest is still alive. I still think it's a fun thing to do, at least until we reach some other games down the path. We shall see. But yeah, I'm going to play some. I'm already planning for Christmas events. For Christmas, I think I'm going to be live during my normal times, which is morning European time, which means late at night US. For New Year's Eve, I'm not necessarily sure what's going to happen yet. So I have a potential plan with someone, but that's versatile. And the other thing that I wanted this year, maybe to be able to celebrate US New Year's, not my New Year's, because prime time usually for me, like if I stream my New Year's time, is a time I'm usually never live myself. So maybe it could make sense if I just start a little bit earlier, that I could celebrate the US New Year's time with you. And to be honest, celebrating New Year's Eve with a stream is something that I would really want to do. Honestly, I don't really have much else place to go to. That's not necessarily meant to be any sad news or anything. It's just a fact of the matter that there's not... New Year's isn't really that special nowadays for me. I don't really want to go out party or do anything else. Recent New Year's has basically just been me sitting on the balcony playing guitar a little bit, listening to music, and then looking at the fireworks and having like a moment to myself, and then yeah, that's it, you know. But I really want to celebrate with the stream, because that's something that really means a lot to me, and I feel like if I can share some of that time with other people that were like-minded like me, you know, spend time alone, maybe we can spend some time together alone for the internet. Make it very complicated. This is an existential thing. So I'm aiming for that. Maybe even I don't know. I don't exactly know how, but I want to do that. That's kind of the thing that I want to do. There's plenty of time to plan, and also a potential thing that I have to figure out. If it's versatile, then I'll make sure that this could work either way. So yeah, that's currently what's going on. I feel like I've spent my brain on the matter, and I've at least informed you on what's going on, what the haps is, and yeah, you know what? I'll just leave you to watching the end of the run if you like to. But from this point on, there will not be any more chat. The chat is done. Oh, well. I didn't realize I died this quickly. Looks like I timed it pretty perfectly. I legitimately forgot about that. Yeah, so this went pretty good. Okay, so that is it then. Watch the rest of the run. Yeah, it's already over. So let me take this moment to say thank you so much for all the time you've spent watching so far. I really appreciate you. And as I said, do not feel bad if you are in the position where you not want to or can support me financially. Do not worry about it. It's perfectly normal. It is up to me to find a way to monetize and to find a stable income doing content in the future. So, with that being said, I am this idiot, Stealthygolem. Stay lovely, everybody. You matter, and I appreciate you. Appreciate yourself as well. Okay? Bye-bye.